So those were linear equations in one variable, which we did in question number 1. Now today we are going to do question number 2, where we are going to solve linear equations in two variables. Did you notice this? Question number 1, they have given y is equal to 3x. Do you all agree that it is a linear equation? Yeah, it's a linear equation. But how many variables are there? There are two variables. One is y and the other one is x. All right. So that is why I said we are going to deal with linear equations in two variables. All right. Now, let's start solving it. Children, the very first thing which you need to do while drawing graphs of linear equations in two variables is create a table. What do you have to do? Create a table where you will write variable x, variable y. Okay? Where you will write variable x and variable y one over the other. Then sit down, sit down. Yeah. Good evening. Yeah. Children, before I start teaching you how to prepare the table, let me introduce two important terms. Okay? Let me introduce two important terms. Otherwise, before introducing those two terms, I will teach you the table first. Once I teach you the table, I can introduce those two terms. Nothing, children, you must have heard it in school also. Dependent variable and independent variable. Okay, those who have heard it, well and good. Those who haven't heard it, don't worry, children. I will explain it in detail. All right. But before that, let's learn how to prepare a table for both the variables x and y. Can we please open the windows? Now, what is the linear equation given to us? It is y is equal to 3x. I'll rewrite it. Y is equal to 3x. This is the, open the second and the third one. So, y is equal to 3x. Children, you can give any value to variable x. You can give any value to variable x. Any value in the sense, any real number. If you want to give positive integers, you can do so. If you want to give negative integers, you can do so. If you want to put a 0 for x, you can put it. If you want to give any decimal value, say for example 1.5, you can do it. Okay. If you want to give a fraction for variable x, you can do it. Say for example 1/2 or 2/5. You can give any real number as a value for variable x, whatever comes to your mind. So let me give the most simplest value, which is 0. Can I do this? I said, no, you can give any value for variable x. All right. So let me give the most simple value, that is 0. So can you tell me, if x is equal to 0, how much would be y? 0. Why? Because 3 into 0 will give you 0. Makes sense? So when I put the value of x as 0, I got the value y also as what? 0. Now let me give the value of x as 1. Let me give the value of x as 1. Children, if x is equal to 1, can you tell me how much would be y? Y is equal to 3 into 1, which is equal to 3. You all agree with this? So I will write here y is equal to 3. Then let me give the value of x as 2. Tell me how much will be y? Y will be 3 into 2, that is equal to 6. Isn't it? So whatever values I took for x, corresponding values I got for y. I told you, if you ask me, so how did you take the values of x as 0, 1 and 2? Out of the blue, I took it. Okay, out of where I took it. That's all. I just took the values of x as 0, 1 and 2. So that was my decision, okay? Now, corresponding to those values, 0, 1 and 2, what are the values of y? That I need to find by putting those values of x into this equation, which is y is equal to 3x. So when I put y, x is equal to 0, I get the value of y as 0. When I put the value of x as 1, I get the value of y as 3. When I take the value of x as 2, I get the value of y as 6. Are you following it? Huh? So here I will write 6. Now you all must be thinking, why did we create this table? What was the necessity of this table? I will tell you that. Children, they have asked you to do what? Draw the graph for each linear equation. They have asked us to draw what? A graph for each linear equation. And how can you draw the graph for linear equations? By getting the coordinates of a particular point, isn't it? Children, you have this xy plane. So you have this. Yes, Animesh.
We only need to take 3 values for x, and then we need to determine 3 values for y.
Yeah, minimum 3 values of x and corresponding 3 values of y. You can take even 4 values, 5 values, 6 values, okay, up to infinity. But the minimum number of values which you should take inside a table is 3. Okay, the minimum number of values which you should take for variable x in the table is 3. Just remember that. Okay. Now, children, how do you plot a graph? You plot a graph when you know what are the coordinates of a particular point, isn't it? Huh? If you know the coordinates of the particular point, you can plot the points on the graph paper, isn't it? So if you want the points to be plotted on the graph paper, the most important thing or the most essential thing is what? The coordinates of a particular point. So here, you know what I was doing when I found x as 0, y as 0, x as 1, y as 3, x as 2, and y as 6. I was finding the coordinates of each and every point. So the first point will have a coordinate 0, 0. The second point will have a coordinate 1, 3. And the third point will have a coordinate 2, 6. This is why I was doing this operation. Are you getting it? Dane, is it clear? Akhil, Pooja? Yes, I found the values of x and y so that I could get the coordinates of a particular point. And what did I say? If you want to draw the graph of a linear equation, minimum 3 points should be there. Okay? Minimum 3 points should be there. So I have found the coordinates of those 3 points. So let us assume that the first point is A, whose coordinates is 0, 0. The second point is what? B, whose coordinate is 1, 3. And the third point is 3, C, whose coordinates are 2, 6. Make sense? Fine. Now, before I step into the graph, I have to teach you 2 simple terms which are known as dependent variables and independent variables. Okay? Dependent variables and independent variables. Dependent variables and independent variables. I will give you with an illustration. Children, if you ask me in this particular case, y is equal to 3x. Huh? In y is equal to 3x, x will be the independent variable and y will be the dependent variable. Okay? Can you please make a note of this? I will explain it after that. In this particular situation, the independent variable is x and the dependent variable is y. Note it down, then I'll explain it. Noted? Okay. Now, listen to this part. Y is equal to 3x. You must have noticed I was going on giving values for x randomly. From somewhere in the air, I was figuring out the values of x, isn't it? Let's apply x is equal to 0. Let's take x is equal to 1. Let's take x is equal to 2, and so on. If you were in my place, you would have taken x is equal to -1, x is equal to -2, x is equal to 10, isn't it? So you have all the liberty to take any value for variable x. So don't you feel that x is independent here? The variable x is independent. Huh? Variable x does not, you can take it. Same number. Who will take the same number? As if there is a scarcity of numbers in this world. Don't do that. Okay. So children, x is a variable who doesn't have to depend on anybody. It's an independent bird, you know, it can fly anywhere. It can take any value. That is the main reason that we call x as an independent variable. But if you notice, this variable y, that was depending on who? That was depending on that variable x. You give me a value so that I can find my own value. Acha x, you are giving yourself a 0, then let me find my value. Acha, my value is 0. X, what is your next value? X said, hello, my next value is 1. Then y said, okay, fine, your value is 1. So my value is 3. Isn't it? Y is totally dependent on x. As long as x does not give a value to y, y will not be able to find a value for himself. Right? So y again called x. X, what is your next value? X said, my value is 2. All right. Then my value is 3 into 2, which is 6. So y is totally dependent on who? Variable x. That is why we call this variable y as a dependent variable. And variable x is what? Independent variable. Am I clear? I'm talking sense, right? All right. So children, here you got to know what is the meaning of independent and dependent variables. No need to learn the definitions. You just remember the logic. Okay, fine. So let us start plotting the points on the graph paper. Everyone is ready with the graph? I want everyone, even online students, to draw the XY plane and be ready to plot the points on the graph. Laura, you have a graph book, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Which one? Fourth one. Fourth one means? You completed the first, second, and third? Oh, very good. Here it is. Y is equal to x. Okay, let's start. So this is your XY plane. X-axis, Y-axis. Okay, this is your positive x, this is your negative x. This is your positive y, this is your negative y. Now let's plot the points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and so on. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. Here comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And here -1, -2, -3, and so on. Anisha, you're not there today for the class? Tanushri. Acha, who is Tanushri here? All right, let's begin. The first point, A. What are the coordinates? 0, 0. And what is 0, 0? Which point it is? We all are very familiar with that word. Akhil, 0, 0. What is the name of that point where you get the coordinate 0, 0?
Sir, 0.
What is it?
O.
Akhil, what did you say?
O.
O. What does O stand for?
This is the origin.
Origin, very good. So let me label that point here. This is your origin. No doubt, the point of intersection of the x and y axis is the origin. So you got the first point A. And I will plot it here. A 0, 0. Which is the next point that you have to plot? Point B. What are the coordinates of point B? 1, 3. Right? 1, 3. So here is your 1, Here is your 3. So where will your point come? Over here. This is a rough figure, children. B 1, 3. Plotted it. The next point, 2, 6. So 2 on the x-axis, 6 on the y-axis. So 2, 6, where it will come? Over here. Right? So this is your point C, whose coordinates are 2, 6. You plotted all the 3 points. Once you plot all the 3 points, you have to draw the graph. Always remember, children, just note this down. Everyone note this down. Graph of a linear equation. Graph of a linear equation is always a straight line. It's always a straight line. Kindly note it down. Graph of a linear equation is always a straight line. And this is the first question that your teacher is going to ask you in class 10. When they will start with coordinate geometry, there is a chapter called Equations of a Line. I don't remember the chapter number, but the chapter name is Equation of a Line. The moment she or he will start that chapter, this is going to be the first question to you. If you have a linear equation, and if you have to draw a graph of that equation, how will that graph look like? So what should be your answer? It will look like a straight line. Okay? It will look like a straight line. Now you are again thinking, no, why did I make you write this? So I will give you a proof for that. Children, take your ruler, take your pencil, and place the ruler in such a way that you can draw a straight line, or you can connect C with B and B with A. Draw a straight line in such a way that you can connect C to B and B to A. And tell me, what did you get when you drew it? Is it a straight line? Yeah. There wasn't any bend or turn or curve, isn't it? No, that was a straight line. Now, no matter what the linear equation looks like, and a simple linear equation or a very complex linear equation, the graph which you will get eventually will be a straight line. Okay? So this is the graph. And once you draw the graph, children, or once you draw the straight line, just next to it, just mention what was the equation of that line. Y is equal to 3x. So that your teacher will understand you have taken an XY plane. In that XY plane, you have plotted 3 points, A, B, and C. And then you have used a ruler to connect all the 3 points to get a straight line. And what was the equation of the straight line? Y is equal to 3x. So this is the information which you're passing on to your teacher. Am I clear with this? Good. Let's do the next one. Y is equal to minus x. Children, y is equal to minus x, I will give you as homework. We will do y is equal to minus 2x. We will do y is equal to minus 2x. I'll write it here. Y is equal to minus 2x. Please don't be in a hurry to finish your work. Okay? Go slow. Go in your own speed in the initial stages. And when we start doing revisions for the exams, you can increase your speed. Now we are just learning the topics. Okay? Y is equal to minus 2x. Now I don't have to repeat all the concepts, dependent variable, independent variable, and so on, isn't it? I can directly start with the table. So let's create the table and draw the column for variable x and variable y. And then draw 3 separate columns for mentioning the values of x and y. So shall I take the first value as 0? The most easiest value that you can give, right? So for the independent variable x, I gave a value 0. So how much will be y? Minus 2 into 0, which is equal to a 0. Got it? Shall I take y? X is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. So how much will be the value of y? Minus 2 into 1, which is equal to minus 2. Okay? So there is nothing to ask you in this. That is why I'm not asking anybody, online students also. Okay? Once I feel that I should start asking questions to you, I will start. Okay. Now, let's take the value of x as 2. Then y will be how much? Minus 2 into x, that is, sorry, minus 2 into 2, that is equal to minus 4. Right? So you got the coordinates of 3 different points. So I can take the first point as A, whose coordinates are 0, 0. Then I take the second point B, whose coordinates are 1, minus 2. And the third point C, whose coordinates are 2, minus 4. All right. Now we can plot all these points on the graph paper. Let's do it. Did you all plot it? Huh? The first point will be here, A 0, 0, because it's the origin. The second point is B1, minus 2, isn't it? So 1 is on the x-axis, minus 2 is on the y-axis. So somewhere over here. Over here you will get point B, which is 1, minus 2. All right. Then the third one is 2, minus 4. So 2, minus 4 will come somewhere over here. This is your 2, and here will be your minus 4, right? So somewhere over here, children. This is just an approximation, okay? This is not a proper graph paper which I'm using, so it may vary. But hope you all are able to plot the points. Now use the ruler and the pencil to connect these 3 points. How many of you are getting this? Everyone
Yes,
got?
I got a counting line. Yes, sir.
Dane got it, no?
Yes, sir.
Connect all the 3 points and you're getting a perfect straight line. So please do mention y is equal to what? Minus 2x. This is the equation of the line. Animesh, Pooja, did you all draw it? You can do it in the same graph paper. Hello? Children, do it in the same graph paper. All right. And for every other straight line you draw, just mention the equation of that line so that you can differentiate it. No matter you draw 10 to 12 graphs in the same paper, and if you have mentioned the name or the equation of the line, it can be easily distinguished, right? Prajwal, did it? Yeah. Laura, Aaron, Andrea, done? Oh, fine. Let's take the next equation, which is, let's do the fifth one. 5x plus y is equal to 0. 5x plus y is equal to 0. All right. Now I have to teach you a very important and a simple concept. You know which is the independent variable. Which is the independent variable? Variable x, isn't it? And who is the dependent variable? Y. Always write the independent variable, the dependent variable in terms of the independent variable. What did I say? Always try to express the dependent variable in terms of the independent variable. That means keep variable y on the left and bring variable x on the right hand side. Can I do this? Y is equal to minus 5x, isn't it? Y is equal to minus 5x, because you are going to give away values for variable x, and y is waiting for those values of x, isn't it? So once y gets the values of x, he can find his own value, right? So let's do it. This is the table. Variable x, variable y. Okay, which first value you want to take? 0. All right. So if I take x is equal to 0, I'll get the value of y. How much would be y? Minus 5 into 0, which is 0 itself. Now, let's take the next value of x. Shall I take 1? So if x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 5 into 1, which is equal to minus 5. Okay, I'll write here minus 5. Shall I take the value of x as minus 1? Because I don't want to get a very big value for variable y. Imagine, children, you all must be thinking, no, why I did not take the value 2 here? You all must be wondering why I did not take the value of x as 2. The reason is I would have got a value y is equal to 5 minus 5 into 2, that is equal to minus 10. I would have got a very big value. So I will have to draw a very long y-axis. I want to avoid that. So what I will do is, instead of taking x as 2, I will take x as minus 1. You see what will happen next? Y is equal to minus 5 into minus 1. And that is equal to what? Positive 5. Isn't it? Rather than going very long, why don't we cut short it? Are you getting my logic, children? Even if you take y is equal to 2 and even if you take x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 10, there is no harm in doing that. That is absolutely right. The only thing is, you will have to go till minus 10 on the y-axis. Okay. So if you want to keep it very short, take such values of variable x, which will give you less value for variable y. Okay. That is the only advantage here, but both the methods are right. Now, can you please plot it? Plotting is done. Are you all getting a straight line? Yeah. You want me to draw every graph on the screen, children? It's not required. No, you all know where to plot 0, 0, 1, minus 5, minus 1, 5. Just use your common sense and do it, children. First one is the origin. Second one is 1, minus 5. And the third one is minus 1, 5. Achha, 1, minus 5 will come in which quadrant? Second quadrant? No, fourth quadrant, right? X is positive and y is negative. It comes in the fourth quadrant. It comes in the fourth quadrant. This is your fourth quadrant, children, where you will have positive 1 over here and negative 5 over here. So this will be your 1, minus 5. And where will you get minus 1, 5? X is negative and y is positive. You will get it in the second quadrant, isn't it? So minus 1, 5. If minus 1 is here on the x-axis and 5 is over here on the positive y-axis, this will be your point, minus 1, 5. Make sense? Okay. Minus 1, 5. Advait, did you do it? Yes, Advait, you can do it on the same graph paper. No problem. What about the rest? Dane, Laura, Vani, Yogita? Yogita, you do as much as possible, okay?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. Then Terence, are we done? Hemant, did you draw the graph? All right. Let's do the next one. I will take the seventh equation, 4x minus y is equal to 0. 4x minus y is equal to 0. So what should we do first? We have to express the dependent variable in terms of independent variable, isn't it? Which is the dependent variable? Y. So I will bring this minus y to the right. Okay. 4x is equal to what? Y. Otherwise, I can also write the same equation as what? Y is equal to 4x. Was I able to express y in terms of x? Yeah. Okay. Now let's create the table. I will help you in creating the table. And you can use the same graph paper which you have been using from the beginning to plot the points. Okay. So here is your independent variable. Here is your dependent variable. The first value that you're going to take is 0 for x. How much will be y? Y will be a 0. If I take x is equal to 1, then y will be how much? Sarah, how much will be y? 4 into 1, which is 4, right? Then, if x is equal to, shall I take minus 1 here? If I take x is equal to minus 1, then y will be 4 into minus 1, which is equal to minus 4. Easy, which is equal to minus 4. Now it's very easy to plot. 0, 0 is what? The origin, right? Point A, 0, 0 is the origin. Point B, 1, 4. 1, 4. Both x and y are positive, so it will come in the first quadrant. Then the last one is C, which is minus 1, minus 4. Both x and y are negative. So which quadrant, Steve? Which quadrant? Right? Third quadrant. Very good. So origin, first quadrant, third quadrant, isn't it? Connect all the 3 points and you will get a straight line. Any doubt, children? If you feel like I should be doing it on the screen, just let me know. I will do it. You will get the same point, no? In that case, if you take x is equal to 1, 1, 1, you will be getting y is equal to what? 4, 4, 4. How will you get a straight line? Isn't it? You will never do that. No. Let's take one more equation if you want. 3x plus 2y is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 2y. That we will do after this. Okay. Now let's do 3x plus 2y is equal to 0. 3x plus 2y is equal to 0. Let's draw the table. X and y. But here the problem is you haven't expressed a variable y in terms of variable x. Did we do that? No. So let us do that first. 3x plus 2y is equal to 0. We have to give variable y on the left, variable x on the right. So I can write 2y is equal to minus 3x. Hemant, are you doing it? Therefore, y will be equal to what? Minus 3x divided by 2. Was I able to express y in terms of x? Yeah, I was able to. The only thing which is nagging you here is the denominator 2. Isn't it? For the first time you came across an equation where you are having a denominator. All this while you are never having a denominator. Okay, nothing to worry, children. It will go on as it was going before. Okay.
So
shall we take?
Can we multiply it with 2 and minus 2?
2 and
minus 2.
Which minus 2?
The value of x, can we take it as 0, 2 and minus 2? Yeah.
We can. So let's discuss about it. Shall I take the first value of x as 0? Any problem, children? No problem, right? So if I take the value of x as 0, this is what I'm going to get. Y is equal to minus 3 by 2 into 0. Anything multiplied to 0 is what? A 0. So I'll get the value of y as 0. The next value, children, before you think about taking x as 1, before you think of taking the value of x as 1, okay, think about variable y. Think about your comfort zone. Okay, you people are very comfortable plotting integers on the graph paper, and you are less comfortable plotting fractions or decimal values on the graph paper. Even though you know that it is easy, you will always go with what is convenient for you. When you compare plotting a decimal value or a fraction on a graph paper, you will always prefer plotting an integer on the graph paper, isn't it? So I'm going with your convenience. All right. I'm just going with your convenience. So if I take the value of x as 1, you know what would be the value of y? It would be minus 3 by 2 into 1. That is minus 3 by 2, which is minus 1.5. Those who are comfortable plotting minus 1.5 on the graph paper, I would tell you, go ahead. Okay, I don't have any problem with that. But those children who are a little scary about it, plotting a decimal value or plotting a fraction on a graph paper, I will recommend them not to go for it. Okay, instead of taking the value of x as 1, which will give you a fraction or a decimal value for variable y, take some value for variable x, which can give a integer value for variable y. Okay, take some value for x, which can give you an integer value for variable y. Children, I will recommend you to take 2. I will recommend you to take x is equal to 2. You know why? Because if I find the value of y, I'll be getting this, minus 3 by 2 into 2. You know what is going to happen next? 2 and 2 will get eliminated and the end result is going to be minus 3. And what is minus 3? It's an integer, isn't it? So plotting an integer will become easy for you when compared to plotting a decimal value or a fraction. So this is just a recommendation. Okay, I'm not forcing you this concept on you. All right. The next one. Think of some values, children. Shall I take x is equal to minus 2? So if I take x is equal to minus 2, I'll be getting y is equal to minus 3 by 2 into minus 2. Now what is minus 3 into minus 2? Minus 3 into minus 2 plus 6 divided by 2, which will give me what? Positive 3. Make sense? Namrata, is it clear? Minus 3 into minus 2 is what? Positive 6. Positive 6 by 2 is what? Positive 3. So here I can write 3. You got all the points? Yeah. Woman, what man? X has 3. I will not recommend you to do so. You know why? If you take x is equal to 3, y will become minus 3 by 2 into 3, which will be minus 9 by 2 or else minus 4.5. It's a decimal value. You can plot it on the graph paper. Okay? If you're okay with it, you can take. Otherwise, don't. Clear, children? Everyone? Okay. So here, the points which you have to plot is A 0, 0. Ronia, followed it? Yesterday you were absent, no? Point B is 2, minus 3. And point C is what? Minus 2, 3. Plot these points and you will get a straight line if you connect them. Okay. 0, 0, origin. 2, minus 3, fourth quadrant. And minus 2, 3, second quadrant. So this is how you are going to get the line. Okay. Second quadrant, origin, fourth quadrant. A straight line you will get. All right. Akhil, Dane, you have any doubt, please ask. Laura, Aaron, Animesh, Terence, Vani, Yogita, Advait, please ask if you have any doubt. Dikshet, you have any doubt?
Sir, I have just joined now, sir.
Okay, okay. Oh, you went to school today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's do the last one. X is equal to minus 2y. All right. X is equal to minus 2y. So we usually express y in terms of x. Dependent variable in terms of independent variable. But here see how they have expressed x in terms of y. So we should bring the necessary changes here. So x is equal to minus 2y, which means x upon minus 2 is equal to y. Can't I do this? X upon minus 2 is equal to y. Otherwise, children, can I lift this minus from the denominator to the numerator? I can lift it, no? So it becomes minus x divided by 2, which is equal to y. Make sense? So you get y is equal to minus x divided by 2. Y is equal to minus x divided by 2. Let's plot the table. It is actually very interesting, children, this chapter. finding out the values of x so that you get a very comfortable value for y. You know, that process is very interesting. At times,
But
you'll have to think a lot. Yes, Dane?
Only sad part is we need to draw graphs.
Now, the only sad part is you have to draw the graph.
And then everything is interesting.
The rest, everything is interesting. But where is Joshua?
He's gone to Pondicherry, sir.
Oh, super.
Super.
Okay, let's start. I think we can go with 0, 0. Huh? If you take x is equal to 0, what you will get for y? 0 itself. Because minus 0 divided by 2. Minus 0 is nothing but 0 itself, right? 0 by 2, which is equal to 0. Then, which next value you want to take for x so that you get an integer for y? 2. Very good. The reason is, if you take x is equal to 2, you will get y is equal to what? Minus 2 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 1. And that is an integer. Very good. The next value, shall I take minus 2? All right. So I'm taking x is equal to what? Minus 2. So how much will be y? Minus of minus 2 divided by 2. Children, please be careful at this pointer. It's minus x by 2. The value of x is taken as what? Minus 2, right? So y will be minus of minus 2 divided by 2. Minus of minus 2 is what? Positive 2 divided by 2. And 2 by 2 is what? 1. So you get y is equal to 1. Such easy values you have got to plot, isn't it? Please do it. Point A will have coordinate 0, 0. Point B will have coordinate 2, minus 1. And point C will have coordinate minus 2, positive 1. All right. Avilash, where is the graph? Only 3 are there. Where are the rest? I will draw the lines. That is already done. No, now why you are drawing over it? That is already done. Where are the remaining graphs? Children, plot the graph. Let's do the next equation. Yeah. The next equation is y is equal to 2x by 3 minus 1. Oh, this time we are having a denominator. So we have to be careful. Y is equal to 2x by 3 minus 1. Minus or plus 1? Minus 1. All right. But they have given it in a proper pattern, if you notice. Huh? They have expressed y in terms of x. So that much favor they have already done. Now we can create the table directly out of this. Okay. Which value of x you want to take first? 0? There is no problem if you take x as 0, because if you take x as 0, it will be 2 by 3 into 0 minus 1. Any number multiplied to 0 is what? A 0. So you get 0 minus 1, which is equal to minus 1. Now, the next value of x that you're going to take should be very carefully. Which value you want to take? 3? Yeah, very good. If you take x as 3, you know what you are going to get? Y is equal to 2 into 3 by 3 minus 1. Online students, are you following it? Aaron, Pooja, Animesh, Andrea, Laura, everyone. Huh? So 3 and 3 will get cancelled. You will get 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. Isn't it? So both x and y are what? Integers. The next value, minus 3. Shall I take minus 3? X as minus 3. Okay. Partha, Mayur, they both are not there today. Dishe, Hemant, Advait, you all are solving it, right? Yeah. So when you take x is equal to minus 3, let's check what will be the value of y. It would be 2 into minus 3 divided by 3.
Minus 4.
Minus 4, is it? Let me check. 2 into minus 3 is what? Minus 6 divided by 3 minus 1. Minus 6 by 3 is what? Minus 2. So minus 2 minus 1 is what? Minus 3, isn't it? Minus 3. Now you can easily plot it. Ronia, similar question. The first point A is having a coordinate 0, minus 1. Where it will come? This time if you don't answer, no, I will throw you out of the class, Ronia. Tell me. Huh? Why? Positive Y or negative Y? Huh? Negative Y. Very good. Because the x coordinate is a 0, it will have to lie on the y-axis. Since the y coordinate is a negative value, to be very specific, it will lie on the negative y-axis. All right. It will lie on the negative y-axis. Then the second point is 3, 1, and the third point is minus 3, minus 3. So B will be lying in the first quadrant and C will be lying in the Ronia. C will be lying in which quadrant? First, second, third, or fourth? Ayan, C will be lying in the third quadrant. Very good. Ronia, plot these points and show it to me in 2 minutes. I'll come there. We done? Let's move on to the next equation. The third one is quite easy, children, so I won't be doing this. The fourth one is easy, but let's do it. Let's do it. Y is equal to 4x minus 5 by 2. Okay. Y is equal to 4x minus 5 by 2. All right. So they have given it in a general pattern, isn't it? They have expressed y in terms of variable x. All right. So let us create the table. This is variable x, this is variable y.
So can we take the LCM as 2? And then can we take the LCM as 2 and then make it 8x minus 5 by 2?
I will not recommend you to do that. Why? Because your calculation will become a little more complex animation. Here, what will happen. You can rewrite this equation as y is equal to 4x minus 2.5. Don't you feel so? What is 5 by 2? It's 2.5.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. But if you take the LCM, I'll show you what will happen. Y is equal to, you have taken
8x minus 5 by 2.
8x minus 5. Isn't it? So here, the calculation will go slightly bigger. You are comfortable, you take it. No problem. All right. And no teacher can cut your marks for that. So don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So which value you want to take for x? 0? All right. So if x is equal to 0, then y will be equal to 4 into 0 minus 2.5. 4 into 0 is 0. 0 minus 2.5 is what? 2. Make sense? Prajwal, Sean, clear? All right. Then the next one. Here I will write minus 2.5. Which value you want to give next? 1. All right. So if you take x is equal to 1, then y will be 4 into 1 minus 2.5. So this is 4 minus 2.5. How much it is? 1 point. Isn't it? Yeah. 1.5. All right. Next value, minus 1. All right, no problem. Let's take minus 1. So y is equal to 4 into minus 1 minus 2.5. So 4 into minus 1 is what? Minus 4 minus 2.5, which is equal to, how much it is? Minus 6.5. And all these points can be easily plotted on the graph paper, isn't it? Let's do it. Children, don't get disturbed by seeing this minus 2.5, 1.5, minus 6.5. You all know where it is going to come, isn't it? If this is your y-axis, this is your y-axis, where will you get minus 2.5? In between minus 2 and minus 3. Don't you feel so? Exactly in between minus 2 and minus 3, you will be getting minus 2.5. Make sense? Sarah, Asra, is that clear? Namrata, is it clear? The next one, where will you get 1.5? If this is your y-axis, here is your 1 and here is your 2. Exactly in between 1 and 2, you will be getting 1.5. Okay. Then minus 6.5. Where will you get minus 6.5? Minus 6.5. Here is your minus 6 and here is your minus 7. Exactly in the middle of minus 6 and minus 7, you will be getting minus 6.5. Okay, it's not at all difficult to plot it on the graph paper, even though it is a decimal value. All right, so do it carefully. Be a little careful. That's all I have to advise you. Ayan, you have any doubt in plotting these points? 1.5 minus 6.5. Akhil, did you draw all the graph? No. Akhil, start coming for offline sessions on Saturdays.
So I actually had school today. There's a dance practice, so I was a bit tired.
You were dancing today?
Yes, sir. There's a dance practice today, sir.
Okay, for which event?
Sir, school annual day, sir.
Oh, annual day is coming up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You love dancing? No. Oh, you're forced to dance?
No, sir. They said 100% participation, so we had no choice to.
Oh, you don't have any other choice?
Yes.
I can understand your situation, I can. But here there are some people, even if there are no events, they will create events for the school and they will dance. All right. So we'll do the next equation. Yeah. The next one is, very nice, children. Y is equal to 3x by 2 plus 2 by 3. Y is equal to 3x by 2 plus 2 by 3. Okay. Children, there are two different ways in which you can solve this equation. Okay. Now this will be totally based on approximation. Let me tell you that. Why I use the word approximation, I will explain. Imagine, children, I did not make any changes in this equation because it was looking absolutely perfect for me. They have already expressed variable y in terms of variable x, right? So I can go ahead and create the table for this. Let's give it a try. So this is variable x, this is variable y. Yeah. What is the first value of x that you want to give? 0? All right. So if you give a value 0 to it, what will be the value of y? 3 into 0 divided by 2 plus 2 by 3. Now 3 into 0 is what? 0. 0 by 2 is 0. So 0 plus 2 by 3. That is equal to what? 2 by 3. So here I get 2 by 3. Isn't it? Then the next value. Children, the next value here. Shall I give x is equal to 2? Shall I give x is equal to 2? So what will happen, 3 into 2 divided by 2 plus 2 by 3. So that will become 3 plus 2 by 3. And how much it is? 3 2 by 3. Isn't it? 11 by 3 or 3 2 by 3. Make sense? Hello, children? 3 plus 2 by 3 is what? 3 2 by 3, isn't it? Shall I show you that? 3 plus 2 by 3. Children, what is the LCM? The LCM is 3. So 3 into 3 is what? 9 plus 2 divided by 3. So 9 plus 2 is what? 11. 11 by 3. Now, can't we write this 11 by 3 as 3 2 by 3 itself? We can write it. Aaron, are you following it?
Yes, sir.
All right, 3 2 by 3. So that is why, children, rather than doing so many steps, I told you 3 plus 2 by 3 is what? 3 2 by 3. Shortcut. Okay, it's just a shortcut. 3 plus 2 by 3 is what? 3, 2 by 3. So let me write it here. 3, 2 by 3. What is the next value of x that you want to take? 4. All right, no problem. Let's take x is equal to 4. So what you will get here? 3 into 4 divided by 2 plus 2 by 3. Now, what will happen here? Cancellation. 2 ones are 2 twos are. 3 into 2 is 6. So 6 plus 2 by 3. Can I write it as 6 2 by 3? I can write it as 6 2 by 3. Right? 6 2 by 3. Now, how to plot these points on the graph paper? Okay, this is a major concern. So children, let me ask you, what is 2 by 3? It is 0.66. It goes on like that. It's a non-terminating recurring decimal number, isn't it? Will it ever come to an end, Albi? Will it ever come to an end? It will never come to an end. It will go on recurring, 0.66666, and so on. So children, since you cannot plot a particular point as 0.66666, which is a non-terminating decimal number, you can just approximate it to be what? 0.6. Okay? When you're learning coordinate geometry, you have all the rights to do this. Just approximate it to what? 0.6. That is just because you people are helpless to graph a non-terminating decimal number on an XY plane. Understood? That is why we have all the liberty to approximate it to 0.6. All right. So here, children, when you are creating the table, you can in fact write it as variable x, variable y. X is 0 and y is what? 0.6. X is 2 and y is what? 3.6. X is 4 and here y is 6.6. All right. Now, can we plot the points on the graph paper? We can. I'll show you, children. I'll help you. Since you're doing it for the first time, you may have a little confusion. Okay. Let's do it. So this is how you're going to plot the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. -1, -2, -3, and so on. Now the first point is what? 0, -6. Point A is what? 0, 0.6. Where will 0.6 come approximately, children? Which axis it will come? Y-axis. That you on the positive Y-axis. Approximately you can take 0.6 over here. Just after 0.5, you will get what? 0.6. Do you agree with that? Just after 0.5, children, your 1 centimeter is divided into how many millimeters? 10 millimeters, right? And this is how it is plotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This is how it is scaled. So this point is what? It is 0.5. So this point is what? 0.6. So you can plot it approximately over here. Understood? Children, is the logic getting into your head? That's all I need. Huh? First, you got 2 by 3, which is 0.66666, which is a non-terminating decimal number. Now, since we cannot plot a non-terminating decimal number on the graph paper, we thought of approximating it or rounding it off to 1 decimal number, isn't it? And hence we got 0.6. All right. And we all know where will 0.6 come. After 0.5, one more step ahead, you will get 0.6. All right. Understood? Fine. Then 3.6. Where will 3.6 come, children? This is your 0.3, this is your 0.4, and this is your 0.3. Sorry, this is your 3.5. So 3.5, 3.6 will come just after 3.5. This point will be 3.6. It's just an approximation. Please keep that in mind. Okay, this is not a perfect graph. This is an approximation of the graph. All right. I know you people desperately want a break, right? Yeah, go for a 5-minute break. Now the time is 7:42, 7:47, we will restart. Okay. Yeah, thank you, children. How to solve this? Children, we have to first of all express variable y in terms of variable x, isn't it? So let's do that. 2x minus 4 is equal to 3y. Can't I write this, Ananya? Is that right? I just brought that 4 from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And I brought minus 3y from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So I got 2x minus 4 is equal to what? 3y. Now, let me bring this 3 from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Aditya, followed it? So, it becomes 2x minus 4 whole divided by 3. This is the reason why I said this equation is not as simple as it looks like. It's quite deceptive. Okay, so I can write here y is equal to what? 2x minus 4 whole divided by 3. Okay. Now, let's create the table. Animesh, did you had any doubt in the previous one? Where is Animesh? Animesh, break is over, man. Come back. Laura, Dikshit, keep the camera on. Yeah. Which is the first value of x that you want to give? 3, sure. So what is the benefit of doing that? Huh? 8.
So 0.
0. 0. I think Avilash has a point. Taking x is equal to 8. Children, I always tell you, whenever you are giving a value for x, you should be getting a convenient value for variable y also. Don't you feel so? You should be getting a convenient value for variable x, a variable y, isn't it? Yeah. So Prajul is saying taking x is equal to 2. I think that would be a very wise decision. You know why? Because if you take x is equal to 2, children, look at this point. If you take x is equal to 2, you will be getting y is equal to 2 into 2 minus 4 divided by 3. Isn't it? What is 2 into 2? It's 4. 4 minus 4 divided by 3. That will give you 0 by 3. And you know, 0 divided by any number is what? A 0 itself. So aren't we getting a comfortable value for y? Yeah. So this is what I was talking about. Okay. Get a value for x, which can give you a very convenient value of y also. All right. Now, let's take the next one, which is x is equal to, if I take x is equal to 3, it will give me a fraction. Then just a minute, children. 4, no, 5, no, 6. 6 into 2 is 12, minus 4 is 8. 8 by 3, which is a fraction. Then 7, so 14 minus 4 is 10. 10 by 3, again, it is a fraction. If I take x is equal to 8, yeah, x is equal to 8. If I take x is equal to 8, then y will be 2 into 8 minus 4 divided by 3. So 2 into 8 is what? 16. 16 minus 4 is what? 12. And 12 by 3 is what? It's 4. Yeah, you're getting a very easy number for y, isn't it? Shall I take the next number as 8 plus 6, 14? Shall I take the next number as, children, See, I'll teach you a very simple trick. What is the difference between 2 and 8? What is the difference between 2 and 8? 6.
Minus 6.
Minus 2 is what? 2 and 8 is what? 6, isn't it? So children, 8 plus 6 will give me how much? 8 plus 6 will give me 14, isn't it? 8 plus 6 will give me 14. So if I take the value of x as 14, you see whether you will get a easy number for y? Exactly, because 2 into 14 minus 4 divided by 3. 2 into 14 is what? 28. 28 minus 4 divided by 3, which is 24 by 3. That is equal to 8. We can get a very comfortable value for variable y also, right? Now, children, you know, there is a small challenge over here. You have to plot 14 on the y-axis. Sorry, you have to plot 14 on the x-axis, isn't it? That means you will have to draw a very long x-axis for yourself, isn't it? Is there a way that we can shorten it? Children, what if I had taken minus
Negative
8
2.
14? What if I had taken minus 8? What do you think?
Minus 4.
If I take x as minus 8, then y would have been 2 into minus 8 minus 4 whole divided by 3. Children, I'm just laying all the different options which we have. You can select which is comfortable for you. What is comfortable for you? And then you work accordingly. All right? So these are the different options that I can offer. You people take the numbers or the values according to your convenience. So 2 into minus 8 would give me how much? Minus 16. Will it help us, children? Sure. Minus 16. 2 into minus 8 is minus 16. Minus 16 minus 4 divided by 3. No, I think you are getting minus 20 by 3, children. No. But children, shall I ask you one thing? Instead of taking minus 8, shall I take, what is the difference between 2 and 8? It is 6, isn't it? 2 plus 6 is giving me how much? 8. Let me do this. How much will be 2 minus 6? Minus 4, isn't it? What will happen if I take minus 4 over here? I just want to give it a try. If I take x is equal to minus 4 here, I'll be getting y is equal to 2 into minus 4 divided by 3. How much is 2 into minus 4? It is minus 8. Minus 4 divided by 3. What is minus 8 minus 4? Minus 12 by 3. And what is minus 12 by 3? Minus 4, which is an integer value, isn't it? So this way you can do some trick and figure out the third number. Okay. So I'm getting minus 4 and minus 4. All right. Minus 4 and minus 4. Now you can easily plot it. Children, am I clear with this? Huh? Did you all understand this trick which I applied here? Huh? See this, the first value of x was 2. The second value of x was 8. How much was the difference between these two? It was 6 plus 6. So what if I go back by minus 6? How much will be 2 minus 6? That will be minus 4. And that's how I decided the third value of x. Understood? This is just a trick which I have taught you. Don't look out for this trick in the textbook. It is not mentioned. All right. It's a simple trick which I have taught. Animesh, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Line has to be straight, man. Huh? It has to be straight. It has to be straight. There is no other way. It has to be. Okay. Children, one last equation. The last one, children. X minus 1. Or you want to do it on Monday? Monday? All right. All right. It's not good to study for more than 1.5 hours. You'll lose your concentration, I know. All right. But children, whatever we have done is clear today. Aditya, Steve, online students, Animesh, Dane, Laura, Dikshit, Yogita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Advait, Vani, Terence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Andrea, Akhil, Aaron, Pooja, was it clear for all? Okay. Fine, children. So meet you on Monday. Tomorrow, no extra class because we have been doing from last Sunday till today, right? Yeah. So I don't want it to become taxing for you. All right.